why Sholay failed.
I have to tell you, it's been 50 years. I remember every word of that film, every dialogue. I can actually, you ask me any word, I tell you what follows it, and that's 50 years later.
Yeah.
Um, what was there about Sholay that resonated so much?
Well, I wish I knew it. I would have written another Sholay. But
I mean, you did. You wrote
sometimes,
lots of movies. And then,
sometimes a jigsaw puzzle gets solved. I mean, there are different pieces and they fit with each other perfectly, and you get a clear picture. When Sholay was started, we didn't have any idea that we are working on a script which will be a multi-starrer, leave aside any other thing. As the characters developed uh, on the level of screenplay, halfway we realized that there are many characters which are very important characters and we can have important actors, known actors in these roles. Then when the script was completed, then it was Mr. G.P. Sippy, the producer of the film, who decided that it should go into 70 it should be stereophonic, and so on. And obviously, under the direction of Mr. Ramesh Sippy, who did a magnificent job, uh, it had become Sholay in Ramgarh, which is perhaps 30, 40 miles away from Bangalore, had become an industry in itself. There were factories, there were workshops, they were making special gadgets for the film and so on, because that time this special effect was not that developed. We had to do everything real in camera. So if Dharamji is singing a song while one wheel of the cycle is up and he's only cycling on one wheel, all these things were managed by different gadgets. Like if the uh, motorcycle is going on and the sidecar goes away and then comes back to it. No, it was managed in reality because of many machines and gadgets that were made for this purpose. There was a bridge that was blasted in the end. The bridge was made. There was no such bridge. So it was a very costly and very daring effort on the part of the directors and producers, that's for sure. Uh, yes,
that's interesting what you said. You said the story changed. So, what was the original thought that you
no,
had
no,
in your
we
mind, you and
had
Salim ji?
to begin with, it was Salim Saab's idea that there is a retired army major and these two boys who were recruits in the army, but for their indiscipline, they were thrown out of the army. And
That's the
then
original idea.
this was the original thing. And he lost his hand because the hand grenade bursted in his hands. So that was the original thing, and that the family was killed by a dacoit. So he hired these two indisciplined recruits who were thrown out of the army. But then we changed, brought it to the police instead of army. These were no longer recruits; they became two outlaws, petty thieves or hoodlums, and so on. And then when we brought them to Ramgarh, then Radha came into existence, then Basanti came into existence, then many things came as we were moving forward. Gabbar.
Gabbar was
Yeah,
not
yeah.
originally. Did you ever expect that Gabbar would become as major a character as
Well,
eventually he
I
did?
suppose quite a few people did. When Mr. Amitabh Bachchan heard this script on his own, there was nobody else, only he was hearing it, and he requested Mr. Ramesh Sippy that why don't you give me Gabbar's role?
Hmm.
I would prefer to give Gabbar's role. Same happened with Sanjeev Kumar. When Sanjeev Kumar heard the script, he was looking at Gabbar's role with rather greed. So somewhere, even on the paper, they had realized that this is an exceptional character.
Gabbar. And of course, in the word when it was released, it was the emergency. So there was a certain ending that Gabbar was not killed. Now, of course, the new versions are
Yeah, yeah,
coming,
it
which
was
has the original
reshot
ending.
because of the order of the censor board that he's a police officer. He was a police officer. How can he take law into his own hand? Because police officers never do that, you know it. So we had to change the end, and police comes at the last moment. And Indian film, police always used to come at the last moment. Thariye. So he came, the police officer, and took Gabbar away. So we had to make that change. There was no choice.
Well, one of the aspects of that particular story, which certainly traumatized me when I was a little kid, may have traumatized a lot of people, was the death of Jay. Did you ever think of doing it in a different manner so you would have a
No,
happy
well,
ending as opposed to a sad
actually,
ending?
when the picture was released, uh, uh, the media was rather not kind to it, and
Neither was the audience. It did really badly in the initial stages.
no, you see, there was a kind of a overexposure within Bandra. There were three theaters that were running Sholay, and that was why two houses were not exactly full, uh, because there were so many theaters. But when the theaters reduced, everything went right. In the main theater, Minerva, from first day till after 6 years, the collection was the same. There was no difference at all, any day. When the picture was removed, it was running on houseful. Removed to release Shania. Otherwise, it could run for many other years also. But somehow it did not get sympathetic reviews, particularly from the film magazines and trade magazines. And a particular trade magazine took out a special issue, uh, mm, uh, why Sholay failed. And there were
I see. Why
analyses
did
why
Sholay
Sholay has
fail?
failed. Uh, and I met some very important major filmmakers, directors, and all of them were convinced that this picture has not run and could not have run because the story is wrong. The basic premise is not right. And they gave us a lot of reasons that how could this picture run? So that is how it is.
But you never thought of another ending where Amitabh Bachchan would
No,
not
no,
die.
no, no. For a while, it had come to the minds of others, not ours. Actually, when such reports were there was a meeting where Mr. G.P. Sippi, Mr. Ramesh Sippi, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, Salim Saab, and me at my place. And they came to us and they said that we will have to reshoot the picture and we'll have to make changes, like we will have to remove Amitabh's death also, and so on. But we too were totally confident. We were 100% almost arrogant about it. The test picture cannot fail. And I mean, we put our money where our mouth was. Uh, in the same week when everybody was writing epitaph of this film, we gave an advertisement in all the major film magazines and papers that we, Salim Javed, guarantee that this picture will do more than 1 crore in every territory. It was 1 crore was unheard of. No film till that day had earned 1 crore. So people used to laugh at us. 1 crore all over India, right? No 1 crore per territory. And ultimately we were also proved wrong because it did more than 3 crores. So
Most
well,
successful
we were
film and
totally
certainly the
successful.
most talked about
Yeah,
Indian
yeah.
film perhaps ever.
Yeah, yeah. We were totally confident that this film can't fail.